This study was carried out to evaluate the relationship between the respondents' final examination marks and their assignment marks. According to this research, the mark of assignment of each person will affect the final marks dependent to the students. This study includes two variables, which are dependent variable is the final marks and assignment marks will be the independent variable. This research used a sample size of 20 students that involved who get their final mark of mathematics. As a result, we could help students to be able to be cautious with their assignment mark so it wouldn't affect their final mark. It will also make us realize the importance of the assignment mark for the final mark to achieve the target.
The objective of the research is to find the relation between student assignment mark and the student respondent's final mark. The second objective is to find the skewness between student assignment mark and student respondent's final mark.
From the table, we can see that the assignment marks is an independent variable, meanwhile final marks is an dependent variable. Both of these is a quantitative variable, which is variable that can be counted or measured. Inside the quantitative variable, it is an interval data because it's a number with no difference between variables. We are using two methods for determine our two objectives, which is correlation and regression analysis, also box and whisker plot. Then we move to statistic analysis, where mean for assignment marks is 79.35 students and median is 50% of students' assignment marks are less than 79.5 students, while another 50% more than 79.5 students. For final marks, the mean is the average assignment marks is 80.1 students. Meanwhile, the median is 50% of students' assignment marks are less than 80 students, while another 50% more than 80 students. Other than that, there is a moderate positive linear relationship between assignment and final marks. Also, 81.6% of variation of final marks can be explained by the variation of assignment marks.
The red skew plots and whisker graph shows the distribution of data is not symmetrical. This skewness suggests that the distribution still is extending toward the higher end of the data range because a small number of data points have extraordinarily high values. A positively skewed distribution with a concentration of data points on the lower end and a few extreme values on the upper end, placing the median resulting in an asymmetric shape of the plot towards the right, is indicated by a box and whisker plot that is skewed to the right.
A conclusion that can be made from this poster is student assignment mark is related to their final mark. This is because students who usually score on the assignment tends to score a lot for their final mark. The skewness between assignment mark and student's final mark shown that it is skewed to the right. There is a high positive linear association between assignment mark and the student's finals mark. It's shown that the mark is increased by 0.823 per one student. To conclude everything, the data that we received shown that the assignment mark play a big role for students' final mark. This is because students that tend to score on their final mark is the one who is putting their wholeheartedly effort on the assignment marks too. Students need to achieve a good final mark because it could increase their CGPA. CGPA is important for their future qualification to get their future job for the student.